The next project you guys are going to do is paper mache food. We're going to look at the artist Claes Oldenburg, who was a Swedish-born American sculptor known for his innovative and humorous reconstructions of everyday objects in both large-scale public installations and soft materials. Along with Tom Wasselman, Jasper Johns, Oldenburg is associated with the pop art movement. You will probably remember from Art One, we talked about Andy Warhol and the pop art movement. What his claim to fame was, one of his earliest works was he created what was called the store. And it was an art gallery, but it looked like you were walking into a grocery store. And inside, he made sculptures of all the things that you would find sitting on grocery store shelves: boxes of cereal, cans of soup, cleaning products, vegetables, all that kind of stuff that was all inside this store. And it was supposed to be, the beginnings of the pop art movement when artists were making artwork from everyday life objects. So you can read a little information about him. Here are some pictures of his work. Here's a picture of him when he was a little older. And here are some of his sculptures. You can see this one is a soft sculpture made out of what looks like vinyl or pleather. Here is a monumental sculpture that he created. It's ice cream, and I'm not really sure of the material on that one. Slice of pie, soft sandwich. This was a plaster hamburger, set of hamburgers, look like sliders. This is a monumental sculpture. I've actually seen this one. This one's out in Minnesota. This is called the Cherry and Spoon Bridge. You can't actually walk across it. It's really not a bridge. But he called it a bridge because it goes across water. But the cool part about this, and I never knew this until I saw it in person, was the end of the cherry sprays water like a fountain. So you guys are going to be creating food sculpture. And here's an example of some food sculptures that have been done. I just kind of Googled it. We are not going to make ours quite this large. We're going to make them kind of cantaloupe sized, just because of space and the supplies that I ended up giving you. Here are a couple more examples of some sculptures that look like food. Okay, so vocabulary: soft sculpture, sculpture that's made from fabrics and soft materials such as latex, vinyl, and canvas. Monumental sculpture is sculpture that is very large and appears in public spaces. Sculpture in the round, I'm throwing that one back at you again. Sculpture that can be viewed from all sides, because that's what yours will be. Pop art movement is the movement in the 1960s that featured work done using ordinary everyday subject matter. And abstract expressionism, a movement in art that stressed a new way to create art using unconventional materials, hence the soft sculpture out of vinyl and things like that. All right, you're gonna need a whole bunch of supplies for this one. Paper mache paste, I put that in your supply pack. Gallon-sized plastic container, so save something from your house like a milk jug. If you have one of those big giant containers of cheese balls, or anything that holds juice that is in a gallon-sized container. You want something plastic, and you want to make sure that it's got a lid that closes. You want masking tape, newspaper, which is in your pack, tempera paint, which you have not been given yet. We're going to go over or you may have been given. Not really sure when our next pickup will be. Paper towels, paintbrushes, water cup, cardboard maybe. You might want to use cardboard. I did not include that in your kit, but you can just grab an old cardboard box. Scissors and a plastic container or bowl to put your paper mache paste in. All right, so the steps for this: choose a food item to make. Something simple is best. Prepared meals might be difficult. A single food item like a banana, a cupcake, a cookie, bag of chips, bell pepper would be best. Number 2, create a sketch that helps you determine how you're going to make this. Step number 3 is mix your paste. And you're going to mix your paste now because it needs to sit a little bit before you use it. You'll need this. It says you'll need to set up. You'll need this to set up a little so that you can make sure that it's nice and congealed or ready to go when you're ready to go. Add the contents of the box to the bottom of a clean gallon-sized container. Use milk jugs or juice containers. Add warm to hot water to the jug to the halfway point. So you're just going to get warm water into the jug. Put the cap on, shake it really well. Then fill the jug up the rest of the way, put the cap on and shake it again. Begin by molding wads of newspaper into the shape that you're going for. Use tape to secure it. Break it down into parts if you need. If it's a hamburger, make each part separately. The overall finished size we're aiming for is no larger than the cantaloupe. I have included a construction demonstration here for you. Pour paste into a plastic container like a bowl. Spread newspaper on your workspace. Tear the strips of newspaper to about 2 inches by 1/2 inch. So that's 2 inches by 1/2 inch. So pretty skinny. For curves, the skinnier the paper strips, the better. Dip the strips into paste, squeegee off the excess paste, smooth onto the newspaper sculpture, overlap as you go. Make sure it's not drippy or too saturated. There is a demonstration video here. Number 7, do 2 complete layers of newspaper strips. Let it dry, sitting on a chunk of newspaper. That's really important. Otherwise, it's going to stick to whatever you've sat it on. Number 8, paint it as realistically as you can when you're finished, and you're going to be using tempera paint. Then complete a critique sheet at the end. I'm grading you on your design/concept. That's 10 points. Construction is 20 points. Paper mache technique is 20 points. Painting and realism is 20 points. Creativity, craftsmanship, and critique are all 10 points each. For submission, you are going to place a slip of paper next to your sculpture with your name on it. You might need to make a little tent card. So like take a piece of paper and fold it in half so that it sits up like a little tent. Photograph it from the front, back, and one side. Fill out a critique sheet. Upload all 4 to Google Classroom under the paper mache food assignment.